Like to present about housing policy. Housing is one of the most basic needs for every person. However, in Malaysia, many people, especially those in the B40 and M40 income group, still find it very difficult to buy their own homes due to the high cost of living and rising property price. Because of this, the government has introduced and strengthened several low-cost and affordable housing policy to make home ownership more achievable for everyone. These policies are guided by the National Housing Policy, which focus on ensure that every Malaysian family can live in a safe, comfortable, and affordable home. In 2025, the government is putting more emphasis on expanding housing supply, improve financial assistance for home buyers, and align house price with people income levels. The goal is simple: to make sure that owning a home is no longer just a dream, but a real possibility for all Malaysians.
What is low-cost house policy? Definition is a government policy to provide affordable housing for low-income B40 households. It aims to ensure adequate and decent shelter for all Malaysians. Units typically priced below 42,000 ringgit Malaysia, implemented by federal, state, and private developers. And why? It is because the policy importance. It also reduces poverty and squatter settlements, promotes social equity and home ownership, and it improves living condition for B40 families and support government's vision of home ownership for all.
Assalamualaikum, Doctor. My name is BINTI binti MOSITAP, and today I'll be presenting who is responsible for executing the low-cost housing policies in Malaysia. The low-cost housing policies in Malaysia are run by several responsible bodies. First, it is the federal government, namely Kementerian Perumahan dan Kerajaan Tempatan, better known as KPKT. KPKT is in charge of formulating national housing policies, and they're also the former PRIMA, SPND, and PPR. The second body is state governments. State governments there are agencies working under state governments, namely Kementerian Pembangunan Bandar dan Perumahan, better known as KPBP. KPBP formulates state housing policies, sets low-cost housing prices and eligibility, and oversees all public housing schemes.
Next is for low-cost housing policies, where they usually found are and implemented in Malaysia to ensure that affordable homes are available for the low to middle income groups. These policies aim to provide proper housing and improve the quality of life for those who might otherwise struggle to afford a home. There are several federal and state initiatives under these policies. The PPM is designed specifically for government servants. Another key program is the Project Perumahan Rakyat PPR, which is target the lower income groups by offering the low-cost rental or ownership housing. In addition to these national programs, some state governments also have their own affordable housing initiative. For instance, Selangor runs the Rumah Selangor program, while Sarawak has the Sri Pritiwiku Affordable Housing Program. Furthermore, some local authorities require private developers to include a certain percentage of affordable housing units in their project as a condition for development approval. This helps ensure that every housing development contribute to meeting the housing needs for lower income communities.
When does low-cost housing start in Malaysia? So, after Malaysia gained independence in 1957, the government began building homes for lower-income families. One early example was the Sulaiman Court in Kuala Lumpur that built in 1957. But now uh, Sulaiman Court has been demolished and replaced by Sogo Mall. Next is during 1970s, the government expand this housing effort under National Development Plan to help more people to own affordable homes. Next, in 1981, the government is official policy make an official policy. The government launched the official low-cost housing policy, and private developers had to include low-cost unit in their project with price around 35,000 or less. But for now, low-cost housing is priced around 150,000 ringgit.
Next, we're going to talk about how. It is through a process that is named implementation process, which means that the developers required to set aside 30% of units as low cost. Government also incentives for compliance. PPR and RMR programs handle constructions and distribution. Allocation managed through state housing boards, and loans offered via BSN, Bank Rakyat, and etc.
Let me summarize the importance of low-cost housing. Who is involved? These policies bring together the government, state agency, developers, and most importantly, the families who depend on affordable homes. What are these policies about? They are focused on providing safe, decent, and affordable housing to support the needs of low and middle income groups. When do these policies matters? They are crucial now and will continue to be important in the future, especially as housing prices increase and more people moving into urban areas. Where are these policies implemented? They are carried out across Malaysia. Why do we need these policies? Because every Malaysian deserves a chance to live in a proper home, and these policies help reduce the housing affordability gap. And finally, how are these policies carried out? They are implemented through government's regulation, subsidies, developer quotas, and especially financing schemes that work together to make housing more accessible.